In the last video, we have seen how do you fetch data, and then we have also created this repository, right? In which you are saying if you want to fetch repositories, if you want to fetch all the data. But now my concern is, how do I create a new resource? Let's say if you have these two objects, that's fine. Maybe I want to create my own resource there. And we are assuming that this data are coming from database. Maybe you want to add data into database. How do we do that? How do we add data in a database? So for that, of course, you have to send a request, right? And when you send a request, again, we'll not be using this. Okay. So when you send a request, of course, there should be a method here who will accept your request. Now, question arises, for what type of request you are specify that you are creating a new resource. So what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a method here, which is public, which returns, maybe if you want to return, you can return. Let's return an alien object. And let's say the name is create an alien. Okay, and now this alien takes a alien object, and that's the amazing part about this, right? You can directly send data from the client and you can accept it here. Let's name it alien, A1, and let's return the same object. Okay, let's return the alien object itself. But then I want to add this data into database, right? So we'll write that code here. Okay, now when I say database, I'm talking about repository. Again, we have a fake database. Okay, we have to feel that guilty every time we work with this. So this should work with not get request, because whenever you send data, as we have discussed in the theory video, whenever you send data or whenever you create a new resource on the server, we always use a post request. So post is basically for creating a resource, right? So get is for fetching the resource. Post is for creating a resource. Put is for updating a resource, and delete is for deleting the resource. So I want to use post because I'm creating a new resource here, and then I will say okay. Now I want to change this link. What I want to do is I want to say create only when I say alien/alien. So I want to change my URL. Whatever URL we have now, I want to say aliens/alien for that URL. Now, so aliens are already here. And we'll again go for a path variable because I want to create a new resource here. And I will say that resource is, in this case, I will say alien. Okay, the path is alien. And let's say, okay, everything is working fine. Now it sounds good. So we are accepting it, we are fetching an alien and everything seems good. Now let's accept that data. So first of all, I will print the data on A1. Let's see, before adding that into the database, let's see if it is working. I want to print that data here. Okay, it should work, right? So what I will do is I will say repo dot there should be a method called create on the repository which will accept your A1 and it will add the data into repository. Okay, but hold on, we don't have any method inside this alien repository. So we can directly click that error here and we can create a method there. So we'll do that. We'll say create method alien, right? Okay, so we got this method which will accept your value. Okay, so how we should create that thing here? It's very easy. We got this alien A1 here, right? Now we'll fetch our list, which is aliens, and we'll say dot add, and let's add whatever alien object we have. So we'll simply say aliens dot add A1. Our job is done. Okay, again, you can imagine the data is going into database because we are not doing that yet, but it is going in database. We can imagine that. The important part here is not to work with database. The important thing is how do you handle REST request, right? Now we have done all these things, but the question arises, how do you send this data? Now, when you are fetching data, we are directly using the address bar, right? If you can see my Firefox, when I say enter, I'm getting the data. How about sending data? How do I do that? We are not getting any form here. That's not our intention, right? We are not making a website here, or we are not creating a design for that. How do you send this data? Normally, when you talk about sending data, fetching data for REST API, we need some client application which will do this. When you make a mobile application, when you use all these things in mobile application, your mobile application becomes a client. When we use AngularJS to work with this data, we use AngularJS as a client. But unfortunately, I don't have anything here. We don't have a mobile application. We don't have AngularJS script. So we have to use a tool using which you can do all those things. But which tool we have to use? Now, luckily, we have lots of add-on tools available on the market. So, example, if you open, okay, let me just go back to my Eclipse. Okay, so if you right click this and if you click on this new and okay, so if you go here, there are lots of plugins available. Example, if I click on apps, I do have lots of plugins installed in my system. As you can see, we have Hangout, but one of the most important one is this one, which is called as Postman. Now Postman is one of the tools which I use it works as a client, it works as a REST client for me. Okay, this is what I was doing in the somewhere else. Let's close this. So this is how your Postman looks like, but then how exactly it works, how do we send request using this, how do you fetch the response using this, that's a different point, right? Again, the same add-on plugins are available for your Firefox as well, but then I'm using Chrome, so let's use Postman there. But then how to install Postman, how to use Postman, and how that resource will be created, that we'll discuss in the upcoming videos. I hope you got this point here. And so if you have not subscribed the channel yet, what you're waiting for, just click on that subscribe button and do like this video if you're enjoying this. Thank you so much for watching.